Okay, now today we will be studying some another concepts of OSPF. Okay, so OSPF concepts like we will study today virtual links. What are virtual links? What do you mean by virtual links? So before virtual links, before studying virtual links, I would like to just give you one small example regarding this virtual link only. So suppose I am having a network. Okay, this is my one router over here. This is my one router over here. These are my ABR routers. Okay, and I'm having multiple routers inside the area. Over here also I'm having multiple routers. Okay, suppose this is my area 0. This is my area 0. This is my area 1. Okay, now what we have studied in OSPF, configure an area, to construct an area, what you have to do, each area should be connected with area 0. Now what you did, you made an area over here which is connected to area 0. So what you did, you made an area over here and another area. Okay, suppose you have not made an area, you are having some routers over here. You have not made an area, you are having some routers over here, and you need to connect this router, okay, within an area. So what you can do, what are the possible solutions that you can do? The first possible solution that you can apply is something, possible solutions, if you have a router that are far away from in the network, that are far away from the area 0 router, there might be some situations. So possible conditions can be, the first one can be, what you can do, you can extend your area 1. What you can do, you can extend the boundary of the area 1. You can take these routers within the area 1. You can make the whole this area as an area 1. So this is one possible solution, what you can do. Okay, whenever you have extended your network and you are having some routers that you cannot connect a new area, you cannot make a new area because the area 0 is very far. Okay, or there is some situation that you cannot connect the area 0. So this is one possible solution that you can do, that you can extend your existing area. Existing area means my existing area was area 1. So what I did, I extended the boundary of area 1. What I did, I went into these all routers and I advertised all the routes in these areas inside the area 1. So my boundary of area 1 got extended. Now in some situations, this solution will not work. In which condition this solution will not work? Suppose already I am having many routers, suppose 50 routers, more than 50 routers or 50 routers I am having in area 0. And as per the recommendation of Cisco, I cannot add we should not add more than 40 to 50 routers within an area. So I don't want to populate my area. Okay, so then what I can do, I can make an one more area over here as an area 2. I've made one more area over here as in area 2. But when I make one more area over here, okay, my area 2 routes will be not shown in area 1, neither in area 0. Okay, they will be not shown in area 1 or area 0 because it is not connected as per the conditions of area, as per the conditions of area. So what is the condition? That every area should be connected with area 0. Okay, so now what you can do in this possible in this condition, what you can do in this condition. So the next option over here is to connect a physical link from area 0 to area 2. Connect a physical link from area 0 to area 2. What you have to do, you can connect a physical link from any router of this. Suppose I took this router or this router I took, and I connected a physical connection from this router to area zero's router. Okay, area zero's router. So what I can do, I can make a physical connection between the areas. The, you can say, the area which is not connected to the backbone area. From that area I can make a physical connection to the backbone area. Okay, so this is the another possible solution. So we will be not looking for these two solutions in our practical. What we will be looking, we will be looking the third type, the third possible solution, and the best way, the third possible solution and the best way to configure the this thing. You are having area, if we have designed an area that is not configured, that is not connected to backbone area, then we can do something known as virtual links. Virtual links. Now what is virtual links? Suppose this is my scenario. I have configured an area. Okay, I have configured an area. Now what I will do, I will create a virtual link between ABR routers. These are my ABR routers. These are my ABR routers. So this will be my virtual link. Okay, that will you can say virtual link that transmit area 2 in area 0. This virtual link will send all the routes to area 0 of area 2. Okay, so we can configure something known as virtual link. So virtual link can be configured on area border router of both the sites. Both the sites means the uh, router that is connected with area 0 and non-backbone area, and the router that is connected with non-backbone area and the virtual area. This is known as virtual area. What it is known as? Virtual area. This is my virtual area because it is not connected to area 0 directly. So it is known as virtual area. We have connected this route, this we have made a virtual link between area 0 and area 2. So I'll be having a communication between this area. Understood? Understood the concept of virtual area, virtual link.
Yes.
Now, virtual link, if I say the definition, virtual link are used to connect a discontiguous network. Discontiguous, you can say discontiguous area to area 0. Okay. Virtual links are used to connect a discontiguous area to area 0. Okay. A logical connection is built between routers. A logical connection is built between routers. See, we have built a logical connection between both the ABR routers. Okay. Now, now this virtual links are recommended for backup, or they are some temporary solutions. So you should not, the best practice is to design an area that is always connecting with area 0, that is always connected with area 0. Okay, this is the best practice. So these are some temporary solutions. The virtual links are some temporary solutions, or you can say virtual area is some temporary solutions. So the best practice is to link an area to design an area connecting with area 0 only. So virtual links are, you can say, recommended for backup or temporary solutions. For backup or temporary solutions. Okay. So the best practice that I have informed you, the best practice is to configure a virtual link, to configure an area, to design an area that is connected to area 0. Understood? Got it?
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you don't have maybe like a physical link yet to the area too, you can
Sorry,
quickly configure.
I cannot hear you. Come again.
Okay, my point is okay for this is temporary or backup. Maybe pending the time you get a physical link connecting area 2 and area 0,
No, 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 no.
can configure the virtual link.
No, no, no. See, the physical link is not a better solution. If you connect a physical link from year to year, it is not a better solution. Instead,
Okay,
virtual link a better solution, because sometimes what happens, my network is very large, and connecting a
okay,
physical link from one router to another router will be
it's
not
not
possible for
possible.
me. Yes. So in that
Okay,
situation,
okay,
to overcome this situation, we use this virtual link concept. We use virtual
okay.
link concept. Understood?
So the permanent solution would be to change area 1 to area 0 and area 0 to area 1 or something like that, sir.
See, the permanent solution for this would be, you can extend this area 1. This is the best solution. Okay. If you cannot do this, then you have to use virtual links only. You
Yes,
have to
sir, but
use
we can
virtual
also
links.
change the middle area into area 0 or something like that.
See, that will be very complicated. If you go and change, suppose I am having some 50 routers in my area 1, then I have to go on each router and I have to configure that router. So my network will be down for,
Or
you can say, for a long time.
or maybe there's a possibility that area 0 also has other areas connected to it. You
Yes.
can't.
So whenever you are building any network, so what you have to do, you have to build a network in such a way that area 0 should be always in middle only. Okay. So see, this virtual area concept or virtual link concept comes when this is the last thing. This is the last thing. Whenever you are not having any options, okay, you are not having any options, then you have to go with these virtual links. First of all, whenever you are designing your company's network, and you're designing a company's network with an OSPF protocol, then you have to keep in mind that I have to make different areas. And if I have to make different areas, then I have to keep area 0 in such a position that if in future I extend my network, okay, I extend my company, or I add more routers in my network, then I will be able to make a different area that will be connected with area 0. So you have to make such things. Okay, you have to make such, you can say, topologies or diagrams to overcome these types of
Assumptions.
solutions.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, virtual links, you can say, are used to connect discontiguous area to area 0. So this is discontiguous area, because contiguous area means all the areas are connected to area 0 only. Understood? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, now, while configuring, if you are configuring virtual link, you have to keep in mind some points. First, identify the virtual area. What do you have to identify? Identify the virtual area. Which one is the virtual area? So what is the virtual area in my scenario? In my scenario, my area 2 is virtual area. Okay. Now I have to identify the border routers. Okay, I have to identify the border router. Let me clear this all things. I have to identify the border routers. Okay, of virtual area. Now, what are the border routers? What will be the border routers? Suppose if I go into our previous example, whatever we have seen, this was our example. This was our topology. So here I was having some 1.1.1.1. I think so. Yes, 1.1.1.1 I was having over here, and over here I was having 1.1.1.2. Here I was having something 2.2.2.1. And here I was having something 2.2.2.2. Okay, correct. And over here I was having 3 dot network. So here I was having 3.3.3.1 or 2 something. 1 I can say. I have to see again in the routers 3.3.3.2. Okay, and I will configure some loopback addresses. If you see, I was having a LAN interface over here 10.1.1.1.1, and over here I was having a LAN interface 20.1.1.1.1. Okay, 20.1.1.1. Over here I was having a LAN network 30.1.1.1, and here I was having a LAN network 40.1.1.1. Okay, now I will verify all the things. I will go on each router and I will check. See, I am on router 1. I am having a LAN network 10.1.1.1 and a WAN network 1.1.1. And in router 2, I will go and I will say show IP interface brief. I am having one WAN connection 1.1.1.2 and 2.2.2.1 and 20.1.1. in my LAN network. And in this R3, I'm having a LAN network. I'm having 2.2.2 and 3.3.3.1. Okay. Now for R4, show IP interface brief 3.3.2 40 dot 3.3.2 40 dot. Okay, I have not configured any loopback addresses. So what I will do, I will configure loopback addresses. Loopback addresses will be like I can say over here 11.0.0.1 slash 24, 11.0.1.1 slash 24. Okay, 11.0.2.1 slash 24, 11.0.3.1 slash 24. Okay, over here I will have a loopback addresses configured as 12.0.0.1 slash 24, 12.0.0.1.1 slash 24, 12.0.2.1 slash 24, 12.0.3.1/24. Okay. Now over on this router, I will make loopbacks as 13.0.0.1/24, 13.0.1.1/24, 13.0.2.1/24, 13.0.3.1/24. Okay, I've created four loopbacks on all the routers. Okay, so my routing table will be very large, 0.0.1/24. So we'll be learning some more concepts in OSPF. So I will be needing this, sorry, 2.1/24, 1.1, 0.3.1/24. Okay, I've configured these all things. Now what I will do, I will make some areas. Okay, so what I will do, I will configure these all routes. Suppose area 1. These all routers are in area 1, and these all routes are in area 0. Okay, for example, I'm taking to explain you the concept of virtual link, and what I will do for this is also in area 1. This 10 dot is also in area 1. Okay, now for this loopbacks, I have made one more area known as area 2. Okay, so just for an example to give you better understanding about virtual links, what is virtual link? I have made this thing. Okay, so what I'm having area 1 over here, area 2 and area 0. Area 0 and area 2 are not directly connected. Area 2 and area 0 are not directly connected. Okay, what are my AVR routers? These two are my AVR routers, router 1 and router 3. Okay, so first of all, what was the condition to configure the virtual link? Identify virtual area. So my virtual area is area 1, area 2, sorry. My virtual area is area 2. Then identify the border routers of the virtual area. The border routers are R1 and R3. The border routers are R1 and R3. Now what is the next thing? The last thing that you need to consider is router ID. Router ID of border router, and it is recommended to make the router ID as manual, to build the router ID as manual. Now why it is recommended to build the router ID as manual? Suppose this is my area 2, okay, and the router ID for this router is something, the loopback address 11.0.0. Sorry, 3.1. This is my router ID because highest IP address of loopback, highest loopback IP address. Now suppose what happened in future, I configured one more loopback address, suppose 12 dot, or I can say 15.0.0.1. I've configured this my loopback address, and I gave clear IP OSPF process command. I gave a command clear IP OSPF process, or what I did, I didn't give this command, my router got reloaded. My router got reloaded. So once the router gets reloaded, the OSPF process gets reloaded. Okay. So now the router will see this is the highest IP address of the loopback. So it will configure this as my router ID. It will configure this as my router ID. Okay. So now what will happen? Suppose we have configured a virtual link on this router with the router ID 11.0.3.1. And on this router, we have configured a virtual link with 13.0.3.1. Now what will happen whenever the router ID will change, the connection, the virtual link connection between these two routers will go down. The virtual link connection between these two routers will go down because we have configured a virtual link with this router ID. With this router ID, we have said that the router ID for the virtual link is 11.0.3.1 and the router ID for this R3 is for virtual link is 13.0.3.1. But R1 has I have configured a new loopback address that is the highest loopback IP of among these all, okay, on R1. So it will select this as my router ID, and now my this virtual link will go down. So the best practice is to manually configure the router ID. Manually configure. Go on the router and manually configure the router ID. Say something router ID I will give as 11.1.1.1. I gave the router ID over here on R1 as 11.1.1.1, and on R3 I gave some 33.3.3. Okay, so 11.1.1.1 I manually go and I manually configured. So the first option, if you remember, whenever you are configuring the router ID, so in OSPF the first option is manual, the second one is loopback, and if you are not having the loopback and if you are not configuring the manually if you are not configuring, then the physical interface. Okay, then the physical interface. So the first option is manual. So what it is recommended whenever you are having any virtual link connections, okay, between two areas, then you have to uh, provide the router ID for the border routers. For the border routers, just provide the router ID manually. Okay. Now I will quickly go and advertise all the networks in OSPF. Okay. So R1, my R1, if I give, I will show IP protocol. There is no protocol configured. Show IP interface brief. So first I will make loopback addresses. Loopback interface loopback 0 IP address 11.0.0.1 255.255.255.0 loopback interface loopback 1 1.1 interface loopback 2 2.1 interface loopback 3 3.1. Okay, show IP interface brief. I've got all the loopback addresses. Now what I will do, I will configure this router in OSPF. So what I will say router OSPF 1, and I will say network 1.network with the wildcard bit in area. What was the area? Suppose area 1. It was area 1. Okay, 1.network is in area 1. Also my 10.network is in area 1. Okay, then network 11.network with the wildcard bit 0.255.255.255 will be in area 2. Okay, show IP route, show IP protocol. I've configured OSPF 1 and I've configured 3 routes. Okay, 11.network, 3 network, 11.network, 1.network, and this. Now I will go on R2 and I will configure the loopback addresses. I will create the loopback interface loopback 0 IP address 12.0.0.1 255.255.255.0, then interface loopback 1 I will say IP address 1.1, then interface loopback 2. I will say IP address 2.1, then interface loopback 3. I will say IP address 3.1. Okay, so IP interface brief. I have all the loopback addresses. Now what I will do, I will say router OSPF1, then I will say network 1.network. 1.network will be having the wildcard bit will be in area 1. 20.network will be also in area 1. Then my 2.network will be also in area 1. Okay, then my 12.network will be in 12.0.0.0 will be also in area 1. Okay, understood. Now I will come on R3 and I will say config terminal. I will create loopback 0 IP address 13.0.0.1 255.255.255.0. I will say loopback 1 IP address 1.1 loopback 2 IP address 2.1 loopback 3 IP address 3.1. Okay, I have configured the loopback so IP interface brief. Okay, what I will do, I will write this information. Now I will go on the router and I will say router OSPF1 network. What all network I am having? 30 dot network in 30 dot network with the wildcard bits in area 1. Correct? 30 dot network in area 1. Then I am having 2 dot network that is also in area 1. 2 dot network is also in area 1. Now I will put this 13 dot network. 3 dot network is in area 0. Sorry, 3 dot network is in area 0. 3 dot network is in area 0 and remaining is my 13 dot network. So I can either put 13 dot network in area 1 also and area 0 also. So I will be putting it in area 0 only. So 13.0.0.0 0.255.255.255 area 0. Okay. So IP protocol. So IP route. So IP OSPF neighbors. Why my OSPF neighbors are not getting built?
I don't think you enable the interface. So I don't think you configured the. Are they up? Okay, they're up. Serial interfaces are up.
Interfaces are up. I have advertised networks in area. They should become neighbor. So IP OSPF neighbors. Not getting any neighbors. Config terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/0.
Sir, area 0 configurations.
I've already configured area 0 also now, right?
Yes, yes.
Configured area 0 on R3. Okay, let me check. All the interfaces are also up. Interface loopback 1. I will say IP address 14.0.0.1 255.255.255.0. Interface loopback, sorry. Interface loopback 0 IP address 14.0.0.1 255.255.255.0. Interface loopback 1 IP address 1.1. Interface loopback 2 IP address will be 2.1. Interface loopback 3 IP address will be 3.1. So IP interface brief. I'm having the loopbacks. Okay. Now config terminal router OSPF1 and network 3.network area 0 40.network area 0. Why the neighbor adjacency is not getting found? 14.0.0.0 0.255.255.255 area 0. IP OSPF neighbors. I cannot form the neighborship. Show home. Why I'm not getting any routes? Anything you have seen that I've misconfigured, guys? Anything that I cannot see that I've misconfigured?
R2?
Let's check out here.
Empty.network, 1.network, 2.network.
Yeah. Can we see the
Down.
topology?
Go down. All are in area 1. Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Can we see the topology?
Sorry,
Can you see the topology?
this is the topology.
It is treating it as directly connected. Oh.
So it should show me the
3.
route between this area, single area, right?
Yes.
What is the
Yeah.
issue? Why it is not
I'm just thinking.
show IP route? So run.
1, or either change it on the interface to /24, one of those two.
That
I
will
was
be
getting
very difficult.
confused.
So what I will do, I will go and I will say router OSPF. I will change the OSPF configuration only. I will go and I will say
Yes.
one man router 1. This is correct, right? I have given /24, so it will be, this will be 0.0.0.255. This is my /24
Um,
in area 2.
No, then if that is /24, then your interface should be 255.255.
yes,
Yeah,
the
I have
interface is
configured
255
255 only.
255 255.
See,
It has
if I look
configured
back, I have
255 on that.
configured /24.
Okay, then on R2 I saw 255.0.0.0
No. We
on
will see
R2.
on R2 also.
No, no,
Let's
no.
check. Let us
Let's
go
check
one
this
by
first.
one. So this will be 0.255.255.255 in area 1. Okay. Then I will be having one dot network, in area 1. Correct? Okay. Now I will go on R2 also. See, if I see over here, look back. See, I have configured 255 /24. Okay. I will say no router OSPF 1, router OSPF 1, and I will say network, well network is something 0.0.255 in area 1. Correct? Then one dot network will be also in area 1.
No, but the subnet mask, the wildcards should be 255.
Yes, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
3 times 255.
yeah.
yes. I, I,
No, no.
on the neighborship, also I
Yeah.
will give my 20 dot network, 2 dot network, 2 dot network is also in my area 1. Correct? Okay. Now I will come on R3. I will say config terminal, no router OSPF 1, router OSPF 1. Then I will say 13 dot network, something 0 0 will be in area 0. 3 dot network will be also in area 0, but it will be 255. Correct? Area 0. And my 2 dot network will be in area 1. 2 dot network will be in area 1. Also my 30 dot network will be in area 1. Okay. Now I will go on R4 and I will say config terminal no router OSPF1. I will say router OSPF1 14.network will be in my area 0. Also my 40.network will be in my area 0. 40.network and the wildcard bit is 255. 255. Correct? Now if I go on if I am on the router that is of area 0. So show IP route. If I see show IP route, still I cannot see IP route OSPF. Still on R4 I have done any wrong configuration again. Okay, I have not given 3.network, the WAN network.
So while wildcard.
Okay, show IP route. I will get all the routes. You can see show IP route. If I give the specific show IP route OSPF, you can see I am getting how many routes I am getting. 1.network which is in area 1, 2.network, 20.network, 10.network is also in area 1, the 12.network, 13.network, but I am not getting 11.network. I am not getting 11.network over here. If I go on R3 and if I check show IP route OSPF, see what I am getting on R3 1.network, 20.network, 40.network, 10.network, 12.network, 12.network, 14.network. Correct? Because this is my area border router. This is my area border router. If I go on R1 and if I check show IP route OSPF, see now I am not getting 11.network anywhere. I am not getting 11.network on R1 also. On R1 also I am not getting 11.network because it is not connected with area 0. If I go on R2 also I will not be getting the 11.network. 11.network will be not there in any of the routing table. See, there is no 11.network in any of the routing table. Okay, because my 11.network is somewhere here. Okay, and it is not connected with, this is area 2. This is not connected with the area 0. So it will be not showing in any of the routing table. Now what I have to do, I have to go on this border routers of the one border router that is connected with the non-contiguous network, non-contiguous area, and the other border router that is connected with area 0. Okay, so we have to go on these two border routers, the one which is connected to non-contiguous area and the one which is connected to area 0. So we have to go on this routers and we have to configure virtual link. You have to configure virtual link. So before configuring the virtual link, what you have to do? You have to manually configure router ID. So now I will go on each router and check the router IDs. So the best practice is to configure the router ID manually. So I will go on each router and I will say show IP protocol. See over here, my router ID is 12.0.0.3. I will go on my border routers and check show IP protocols 11.0.0.11.0.3.1 because it is the highest IP address of the loopback. I will go over here and I will say show IP protocol. Here it will be 13.0.3.1. See. Now what I will do, I will change the router ID manually. How to change the router ID? I have to go inside the OSPF and I have to say router ID will be 11.1.1.1. Okay, see what is stating. Reload or use clear IP OSPF process command. Reload or use clear IP OSPF process command. What I will do, clear IP OSPF process. Yes. Now if I go and if I check, see my router ID is 11.1.1.1 now. Okay, now I will go on router 3 and I will say the same configuration router OSPF1 and I will say router ID is suppose 33.3.3.3. Okay, then I will say clear IP OSPF process. Yes. Okay, neighborship will be going from full to down, then again loading to full. Okay, then I will say show IP protocol. My router ID is 33.3.3.3. Now if I add any loopback address also, okay, then also it will not affect my, if I will add any other loopback address, then also it will not affect my router ID. Understood? Because I have configured it manually. I have configured it manually. Now, what is the configuration of virtual link? What is the configuration of virtual link? There is only one configuration. We are having only one command for virtual link. Okay, you have to go on both the border routers and you have to say in the router OSPF. In the OSPF, you have to go inside the OSPF and you have to say the area. Which area is it? Which area you want to make as the which is your virtual, sorry, which is your
Hello, we can't hear you, man.
sorry,
As in your, I think your audio went off. Wow. That's,
I've just changed the router ID, nothing else. So see, now my this area is area 2. This area is area 2. Okay. And this area is area 1. This area is area 0. So what I have to do, I have to go on this border router and I have to say area 1 virtual link and the router ID of this route of the other router, sorry, of this router. What is the router ID of this router? Then on this router I have to go and I have to say
Clear.
area 1 virtual link and the router ID of R1, that is 11 dot. Okay, so we will see the configuration. I will go on R1. I'm on R1 and I will say area. Then it is asking me for the area number. So area number, see it is asking me for the area number. So I will give the area number as area 1. My area 1 is my non-backbone area. Then I am having different options. You can see the last option, virtual link. Virtual link. Then it is asking me for the IP address of the associated virtual link neighbor. So the associated virtual neighbor is 33.3.3.3. Okay, I've configured this thing. Now I will go on R1 also. See, I have got an error. Received invalid packet mismatch area ID from backbone area must be virtual area link not found 1.1.1.1. So I will go over here and I will say router OSPF 1 and I will say area 1 virtual link 11.1.1.1.1. See, now my neighborship is formed with 11.1.1.1 and OSPF virtual 0 you can see over here. If I go on R3 now and if I give show IP route OSPF, then I can see the 11 dot network also. I can see the 11 dot network also over here on R3. If I go on R4 also and if I give show IP route OSPF, I can see the 11 dot network also over here now. Yeah, I got the 11 dot network over here. I got the 11 dot network over here. Previously, I was not having the 11 dot network. If I give over here show IP route OSPF, I'm getting the 11 dot network on R1. Show IP OSPF neighbors. My neighbors are 33.3.3.3 and 12.0.3.1. Over here, if I give show IP OSPF neighbors, 11 dot network is my neighbor. Okay, understood? See, my neighborship went
So
from,
the packets will,
sorry,
sir, the packets will now go from, if the packet should go from area 1 to area 2, will it go directly or will it go via area 0?
from area, sorry,
How will the packet?
this is my area 1,
Uh,
correct? This is my area
uh,
2,
yes.
okay? This is my area 0.
Yes, sir.
Now, if the packet is going from anywhere from here, then it will go to the virtual router directly. If it is going
Okay, sir.
to area 2, then it will go to the virtual router directly. Okay, because I have configured that R1 is my virtual router. Sorry, it is my border router for both the links. See, what we have done. We have just configured a virtual link between these two. I have connected area 2 with area 0. This is the same concept. Now let you consider that this is not an discontiguous network. This is something that is connected to area 0 only. Then how the packet will move if it is going via area 1 to area 2 to area 1? It will go directly like this. It will go directly like this only, because we are having the routes over here. We are having the routes over here. Okay. The direct routes that are connected between area 1 and area 2 are via 1 dot network. If my R2's 20 dot LAN network want to communicate with this R1's network, then he has to go via 1 dot network. So he will go directly via 1 dot network. Why he will go like this and then come again like this? Understood?
Okay, sir.
Got it? So this is the concept of virtual link. Understood? The concept of virtual link, whenever you have configured any area that is not connected, not directly connected with area 0, okay, and you want the routes of that area, then you have to configure a virtual link between the discontiguous areas. Understood? Any doubt,
Yes.
guys, till here? Hari, Varun,
No, sir.
Ayan?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. So we have seen a concept of this. Now, virtual link. Now the next topic, we will be seeing something. You can see OSPF network types. What all are the network types in OSPF? What are the network types? The first one is point to point. Point to point network. What is point to point network? Whenever a router is connected with another router, okay, using a serial link, this is my point to point connection. This is my point to point connection. These are my point to point connections. What are directly connected via some serial links, okay, WAN links, then these are my point to point connections. These are my point to point connections. This is router 1, this is 2, this is 3. These are my point to point connection between router 1 and 2. These are my point to point connection between router 2 and 3. This is something simple point to point connection. Okay, the next thing, the next type of network in OSPF is something broadcast multi-access network. Broadcast multi-access network. Now, what do you mean by broadcast multi-access network? You can say connecting routers to a centralized switch. To a centralized switch, or you can say you are having some metro Ethernet lines, okay, and all the routers are connected to the metro Ethernet line, okay. So this is something broadcast network, and whatever are my switch networks, broadcast multi-access network. Switch networks are known as BMA, broadcast multi-access network. Switch networks are known as broadcast multi-access network. If I give you the example, if you remember Varun, Hari, we have studied something, a concept of DR-BDR in our CCNA. So we have seen one topology. Okay, this is my router. This is my another router. In this OSPF also I have explained you that these are my router that are connected to one metro Ethernet line or a single switch, you can say. So this type of connection is known as my DR-BDR, where there is a possibility of broadcast, So in this, if I add one router over here, then what it will do, it will broadcast to all the routers. So there is a possibility of broadcast. There is a possibility of broadcast over here. So this type of network is known as broadcast multi-access network. Broadcast multi-access network. Understood? Wherever we are selecting DR, BDR, okay, we will see in depth this broadcast multi-access network. Then the third type of network is NVMA, non-broadcast multi-access. Non-broadcast multi-access. Okay. This is my broadcast multi-access. Now this is my non-broadcast multi-access. So non-broadcast multi-access means no possibility of broadcast. There is no possibility of broadcast. So you can say there is some frame relay type configurations. It is used in frame relay configurations. Is there in frame relay configurations. Now frame relay configurations means, suppose I am having some routers over here, okay, and these routers are connected via a frame relay, okay, and these routers are connected with other routers on other sides, okay. You can say frame relay type configuration. So this is my frame relay type configuration. So whenever I will send some packet from here. Okay, I have to give the destination next hop address. So if I give the next hop address as 1.1 over here, then it will only go to 1.1. Okay, it will not go to any other thing. So there is no possibility of broadcast over here. There is no possibility of broadcast in NBMA network, non-broadcast multi-access. Understood? Types of networks. Now if I
Yes.
go and if I see in depth the broadcast multi-access network, so you can see the broadcast multi-access networks. Broadcast multi-access networks. You can say LAN technologies. LAN technologies, like you can say Ethernet and token ring. Okay, they use this BMA network. DR and BDR. DR and BDR selection are required, because if there is an broadcast network, then you have to select DR and BDR. Okay, you can say OSPF detects this type of link automatically. OSPF detects MBA links automatically. Now all neighbor neighbors all neighbor router form full adjacencies with DR and BDR only. Okay, it means that if you are having DR or BDR, and the adjacency is to be formed with any DR other router, then the adjacency will be full. Then the adjacency will be full. Understood? And if you are having something like the opposite, DR other are having the adjacencies, we give DR and BDR, then it will be full. It will be full. If you are having any DR other router, and at the opposite side also there is DR other, then the adjacency is two-way state. The state will be till two-way state between DR other and DR other. They will not send the updates. Okay, so now updates, how the updates are shared? Updates are shared if DR other is sharing any update. If DR other router is sharing any update to DR and BDR, to DR or BDR, then it is being shared on the multicast address 224.0.0.6. Okay, and if DR is sharing any routes, if DR is sharing any routes to other DR routers, then it is being shared on the multicast address 224.0.0.5. Got it? Understood? So we have seen the practical of DR and BDR. If you remember, if you want, I can show you the short practical if you want. We have seen it in CCNA. At CCNA level, we have seen the practical. Okay, one here where so this is my topology. Okay, so I have 10.1.10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.2, 10.0.0.3, 10.0.0.4. Now I will go on the router and I will see the configuration if I am having the configuration. Show IP interface brief. I am having the configuration show IP protocol. I am running OSPF. Okay, I have advertised the all the routers. Now see, if I go over here, if I see show IP OSPF neighbors, if I go and see show IP OSPF neighbor, then it is in the initialization state. See, because they have not formed the neighborship yet. The router has not come up. See now, full state, full state, full state. Okay, show IP OSPF neighbor. So full state with my BDR, full with my DR other, and full with my DR other. See, I have changed the priority over here is 254. Show interface fast connect 0/0. Show IP. See, if I give this command, I can see who is the DR router. Show IP OSPF interface fast Ethernet 0/0. My router ID is this. My priority is 255. The default priority, what is the default priority on the Cisco routers? The default priority is 1. Okay. My priority is 255. Designated router is this. State is DR. See, this router is the designated router. Backup designated router is 10.0.0.4. Okay. Understood? Got it? The adjacencies, if I see the adjacencies on the I am on the DR router and the DR router is having the adjacencies with BDR as full, with DR other as full and DR other as full. My BDR is 10.0.0.4. Now if I go on 10.2, and if I give the same command, show IP OSPF neighbor, I can see with my DR and BDR, 10.1 is my DR, 10.4 is my BDR. I am having the adjacency as full, and with my DR other router, my adjacency is two-way. It is in two-way state. It will be in two-way state. It will be in two-way state. Understood the DR BDR concept? Any doubt in DR BDR concept?
No, sir.
Okay. So we can move to the next topic. Our next topic will be OSPF LSA types. You can see the OSPF LSA types. So how many LSA types you are having? Multiple LSA types you are having. Okay. So we will see one by one. So first is the, you can say LSA type 1. What is the type 1? This is router LSA. Router LSA. What is this? This is router LSA. Now what is router LSA? What is router LSA? Router LSA is something generated by internal router. Internal router. Generated by internal router. You can say shows own router information, or shows within area information. You can say over here you will be seeing in LSA 1 you will be seeing O routes. O routes. O routes in the routing table. Within the area, the LSA type 1A router LSA floods within the area only. Floods within its area only. Floods within its area only. Floods within its area only. Okay. You can say it does not cross. It does not cross the ABR router. It does not cross the ABR router. Okay, it does not cross the ABR router. So if I take the example over here, suppose just a second, guys. Suppose if I take an example over here, I am having one area. Okay, I am having some routers over here. This is my one router. Here I am having a LAN network. Okay, and this router is connected to another router. Okay, and these are in a single area. These are in single area. Okay, suppose area 0. These are in area 0. Then my traffic, my LSA 1 will be in this area only. Within this area only. My router LSA will be within this area only. Shows own router information. You can also say shows own router information. Okay, router LSA. This LSA will show you O routes within the routing table. O routes will means whatever are the direct, whatever are within my area, whatever the Understood? Router LSA. This is type 1 LSA. Now, if I go, this is a very important topic, so please be attentive. If I go on LSA type 2, type 2 is my network LSA. What it is? It is my network LSA. Okay. What is my network LSA? See, what the LSA2 is something that is advertised by the DR router to other routers. Okay, whatever the advertisement is given by the DR router to the DR other router, that is known as network LSAs. That is known as network LSAs. This will be also within the area. This will be also within the area only. So you can say advertise by DR, advertisement by the DR of the transit area. Transit area means same area. Transit network. You can say DR is giving some network to DR other. Okay, this is LSA 2. Floods within you can say its area only. Floods within its area only. Also, it does not cross ABR. Does not cross ABR. Also, it shows O routes. O routes. O routes means my own routes, my own area routes. Okay. So whenever a DR is giving any information to other routers, then it is known as the network LSAs. It is as the network LSAs, and you will come to know that who is the DR. In this type of LSA, network LSA, the other routers will come to know that who is the DR, who is the DR in the network. Understood? Now, we are having the third type of LSA, that is known as summary LSA. LSA type 3, that is summary LSA. Summary LSA. Okay. Now, what is summary LSA? What is summary LSA? You can say summary LSA is something are used to flood the network information from outside the network. Suppose I am having a network. Okay, I am having multiple areas that are connected. I am having multiple areas that are connected. Suppose I am having one router over here, another router over here, one router over here. Okay, they are connected with each other, and this is my area 1. This is my suppose area 0. Okay, this is my again one router over here. This is my suppose area 2. Okay, I'm having a backbone router over here. So now, what is summary LSA? See, we have seen network LSA and router LSA that are there in between the within the same area. Now, summary LSA, it flood the network information to areas outside the originating area. means inter area. Summary LSA means the information what is going to the routes information what is going outside one area via ABR. It is known as, this is my ABR, right? Area border router. Via ABR, if my information is going outside, then it is something summary LSA. It is going via summary LSA. It is going through summary LSA. Understood? Type 3 LSA. Sending updates from one area to another area. You can say OIA routes in the routing table. OIA routes are something that are received via summary LSA. Whatever you see as OIA routes, then you should come to know that it is received by summary LSA and it is advertised by the ABR of the originating area. So now this ABR will advertise for area 1, also for area 0. Understood? Because this is my border router. Understood? So if we go and if we see some theory part, then you can say type 3 LSA are used to flood network information to areas outside the originating area. You can say inter area outside the originating area, inter area. Understood? Outside the originating area. You can say it shows from where the routes are coming, okay. You can say sending updates from one area to another area, sending routes from one area to another area, and routes will be shown as OIA routes in the routing table. Whenever you see that there are some OIA routes, then you should come to know that these are being advertised via summary LSA. Summary LSA. Advertised by ABR of originating area. Okay, understood? Now it will also uh, flood the throughout the flood, you can say throughout the AS, throughout the single AS, throughout the single AS, throughout the single AS. Understood? Whatever is the autonomous system number, within the autonomous system number, it will flood the packets.
Sir, for advertising among different uh, like OSPF areas, not areas, sir. Autonomous systems. Can we use redistribute static?
Didn't got you, come again. Between different autonomous
Between
system,
different
you are
autonomous
saying with different protocols.
No, sir, the same protocol between different autonomous systems of OSPF. If you want to send packets, should we use redistribute static?
Between OSPF.
Yes,
So
sir.
if you want to send between OSPF, you can use redistribution, but you cannot use static redistribution between them.
OSPF redistribution.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now my fourth type of LSA is something LSA4. It is also summary LSA. Summary LSA. Now, what is the difference between this LSA? What is the difference between this LSA with type 3 LSA? So, summary LSA is something, it advertised who is the ASBR router? Who is the ASBR router? What is the use of ASBR router? What is the use of ASBR router? ASBR router, see, I think so. I have forgotten to inform you what is the ASBR router. So, Varun, Hari, ASBR router is something. If suppose I am running a routing protocol over here. Okay, this is my routers connected. Okay, suppose this is my OSPF and I have connected one network. I am having one network over here, and on this network, I am running suppose EIGRP or anything, any other routing protocol. Okay, so the router that is connecting two different routing protocols is known as ASBR router. The router that is connecting two different routing protocols is known as ASBR router. So on one interface of this, I will be running OSPF. On the other interface, suppose this will be my ASBR router. Okay, here I am running external. This is my ASBR router. ASBR router. Okay. Autonomous system boundary router, border router, you can say boundary router, sorry. So this is my ASBR router. So this fourth type of LSA gives me it is used to advertise an ASBR to all the other areas in the autonomous system. So it will say me that which router is the ASBR router, which router is my ASBR router. To all other areas, it will advertise that my this router will be this router is my ASBR router. Understood? This summary LSA will give me the information about ASBR router. Now they are generated by the ABR router. ABR router. Suppose this is my ABR router. This is connected with another area over here. Suppose this is area 0. Area 0. This is my area 1. Okay, this is my ABR router. So they are generated by the ABR router. The ABR router gives the information to all the other routers. Okay, understood? What is the difference between summary LSA, LSA3 and LSA4? So you can say, okay, I will repeat. The summary LSA are used to advertise an ASBR to all other areas in the autonomous system. See, Hari, what is the thing? I am running some routing protocol. We have seen the redistribution. If you remember, we have seen redistribution where we were running EIGRP over here and OSPF over here. Suppose this is my area 0 and this was my area 1. This was my area 1. I was running OSPF over here and here I was running EIGRP or any other routing protocol. Okay, any IGP protocol, REF, EIGRP, anything. So here I am running OSPF. Now this is my ABR router. This router is my ABR router. So this router is used to, you can say, to send the routes, to send one area routes to another area routes. So this use LSA type 3, sending one area routes to another area, OIA routes. Now this router is my ASBR router. ASBR router. Okay, ASBR router. Now, what is my ASBR router? The ASBR router is the router which is running EIGRP also and other routing protocols, which is running two different routing protocols, is known as my ASBR router. Now, my LSA type 4 is something that will the see LSAs are in OSPF. Okay, so now my LSA type 4 will give me the information about that where is my ASBR router, who is my ASBR router. What it will give? It will give me the information that who is my ASBR router. Okay, so suppose I got the information from here to this ABR router. Now this ABR router will inform to all other routers that the ASBR router is R2, or he will advertise the router ID. He will give the router ID. He will give the router ID as in LSA4. In LSA4, he will give the router ID of ASBR router. Okay. LSA3 will give you OIA routes, different area routes. And LSA4 will give you the information about ASBR. Who is the ASBR router? What is the router ID of ASBR router? Understood, Hari? Now, summary LSA are used to advertise an ASBR to all other area in autonomous system. Then they are generated by ABR of the originating area. They are generated by ABR of the originating area. So whatever area that the router is connected with, the connected ABR router will generate the LSA4 information. The LSA4 information. They are generated by all subsequent ABR to flood throughout the AS. Okay, type 4 LSA contains the router ID of the ASBR router. What does the type 4 LSA contains? Router ID of ASBR router. Understood? Type 4 LSA. What is type 4 LSA? Understood? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we are having next fifth one, LSA type 5, that is known as external LSA. External LSA. Okay. Now what is external LSA? See, what we have seen in LSA4, it will give me the information about who is my ASBR router. Now my external LSA will be advertising the network from this external, from other autonomous system, you can say, from other autonomous system. It will give me the routes from other autonomous system. Okay, suppose I am having, this is my example, this is the same example. Okay, here I am running EIGRP, here I am running OSPF. Suppose this is one area only. Okay, now this is my ASBR, so I cannot take one area. I will form two areas. These are my two areas, area 0, area 1, EIGRP. Now I got to know that this is my ASBR router. By LSA4, I got to know this is my ASBR router. Now what will be my LSA5 will be giving? LSA5 will give me the routes information. What all are the network information are there in the external AS other autonomous system. This is my other autonomous system. This is my other AS. So whatever other AS information I am having, the external routes, you can say E1 and E2 routes. E1 and E2 routes. Whatever the E1 and E2 routes I will be getting via this external LSA. I will be getting via this external LSA. Understood? Whatever I will be getting the external routes from another AS number. This is my another AS number. I will be getting via the LSA 5, external LSA. External LSA. Type 5 are used to advertise networks from other AS. Type 5 LSA are advertised and owned by originating ASBR. Type 5 LSAs are advertised. Who advertises the Type 5 LSA? The ASBR will advertise the Type 5 LSA. Okay, the ASBR will advertise the Type 5 LSA. Now, Type 5 LSA floods throughout the entire AS. Understood? Now the next point can be the advertising router ID, that is, you can say ASBR. The advertising ASBR is unchanged throughout the AS. Understood? Wherever you are advertising the network, all the routers will be having the same router ID, or all the routers will be having the same ASBR router in a single AS. Now, if the ASBR is giving the network, then by default routes are not summarized. Okay, if I am getting any external routes through external LSA, okay, then through external LSA, type 5 LSA, then by default the routes are not summarized. Understood? Type 5 LSA? What are type 5 LSA? Any doubt in type 5 LSA? So we are having other LSAs also, like type 6. We are having type 7 also. We are having type 8 also, 9, 10, 11. But almost we use at our CCNP level, you can say we use type until type 5 only. Okay, we are using until type 5 only. So I will give you the information about type 6. Type 6 is something multicast. If I write over here, LSA type 6 is something multicast OSPF LSA. You can say MOSPF LSA. MOSPF LSA. It is used to multicast. It is used, you can say it not to, it is used in multicast router.
Oh, I lost.
MOSPF. Okay. Now it is not supported. Multicast LSA is not supported in Cisco router. In Cisco router. This is not supported in Cisco router. MOSPF is not supported in Cisco routers. Okay. So that is the reason we don't study this LSA type 6. Now LSA type 7 is something stub NSSA. So we will see afterwards what is LSA type 7. Okay, when we will be studying stubs, the concept of stubs, then we will be seeing the LSA type 7. Now what is LSA type 8? LSA type 8 is something external attribute LSA. What is this external attribute LSA? It is used in OSPF and BGP internetworking. Interworking. Okay, whenever you want to join or you want to configure OSPF with BGP, then you need to configure network, see, external attribute LSA. External attribute LSA. Understood? Type 8 one. This is my type 8. Okay. Any doubt? Type 8. Now my ninth one is, or you can say, I will write it LSA 9, 10, 9, 10, 11. Okay, these are known as opaque LSA. Opaque LSAs. Okay, these are known as opaque LSAs. Now they are used for some specific applications, like you can say such as OSPF and MPLS interworking. Okay, whenever you are working with OSPF and MPLS, then you will be using this type of LSAs 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so we only use up till LSA type 5. We only use up till LSA type 5. Okay, LSA type 1, router LSA. type 2. Okay, I'm concluding, Varun. You can wait for 5 minutes if you want. You can wait for 5 minutes. I'm just concluding. Okay, he has left. No issues. Yeah, the battery is low, but I'm just concluding. So understood what is the type of LSAs? What are the type of LSAs? Any doubt in types of LSAs? Okay. So let me take one more topic. If you have any issues, Tushar, if you don't have any issue, I can continue one more topic. That is stub. We can start with stub. I can take one topic as stub. If you people are ready, if I can take one more topic as stub. I can start with stub. Can I start with a new topic or should I stop over here?
Boss, please, I have to work, right? Also, please, I will have to. I think we should
Sorry,
stop.
you have to work.
Alright. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, no issues. I will stop over here only.
thank you.